Here are a few examples of some REITs to get you started on your research. Public Storage, which has a ticker PSA, Prologis, which has a ticker PLD, and Realty Income, which has a ticker O. The seventh way you can invest your $1,000 is through crowdfunding platforms. Over the last decade or so, there has been an increase in demand or interest from regular investors such as you and I into startup companies, and not just interest from the rich and wealthy. And in the past, most of these deals were reserved exclusively for the ultra wealthy as well as institutional investors. But thanks to the growth in these crowdfunding platforms, for as little as $100 or even less, you too can get access to startup companies that may become the future Airbnb, Google, Amazon, or even Apple. So why is investing in crowdfunding potentially good? Well, you're getting in early. If this startup succeeds, your small stake could grow exponentially. It's also a way to diversify from listed traditional stocks and bonds because you are taking a stake in a new business or company that isn't listed on the stock market. And lastly, you are part of innovation. You're not just funding a company, you are funding a dream. So how can you invest? The first step is to sign on to platforms like Seed Invest, Crowdcube, or Funding Circle. Once you're signed on, the second step is to browse through the startup pitch index or sales pitches. You can read through their business plans, you can look at their financial projections, you can watch videos. And once you find a startup that piques your interest, the third step is to invest as little as $100 on certain platforms to become a shareholder. And so you don't need to be a millionaire to get access to some of these startups. You just need belief and you need a little bit of cash. A word of caution. According to the latest data, 90% of startups fail. And so this is a very, very high risk option, but it's just that. It is an option for those who are risk seekers. So here are some examples of crowdfunding platforms to get your research started. The next way to invest your $1,000 is to overpay on your mortgage or pay down some of your debt. Okay, so this isn't an investment in the typical sense of the word, but hear me out. When you own a home and you reduce the outstanding mortgage on that property, you are adding to your equity. And you're also reducing the interest you pay on that outstanding debt. And it may be a small amount, but every little helps. Or if you opt to pay down some of your debt, you are reducing your stress level and you're also reducing the interest that you have to pay on what's outstanding. And so those interest savings could be used towards your savings or building your future. And so if viewed from a holistic lens, you are still investing and building wealth. You're just doing it in a more indirect manner. The ninth way to invest $1,000 is to start a micro business or a side hustle. Okay, so I know a lot of people get put off when they hear start a business because they think it is long and arduous. And you're right, it is. But don't forget that the big businesses you see around you today were once small businesses themselves. The tools you require are a lot cheaper than they were back then. Access to credit is a lot easier than before. Thanks to the internet, your audience is now global, and AI is making scaling up a lot easier than ever before. So do not despise humble beginnings, because your small business today could be your full-time freedom tomorrow. And there is a vast array of businesses that you could start. You only need to do some digging to see what takes your fancy. The options are both exciting and truly endless. And starting a business is a good idea because you are investing in yourself. There are no middlemen. There is a potential for incredible returns if things go well. And you're building skills, you're building confidence and long-term income streams. But as with most things in life, there also are downsides. There is no guaranteed return. It takes time, consistency, and resilience. And you wear all the hats: sales, customer service, products. All of that is down to you. And so the success of the business comes down to you.